Hello. So for project two, going to be looking at taking the temperature using a round robin with interrupts design on an Arduino. There are really only five functions going on here. Two of them are pretty standard, what we've seen before with setup and loop. There are some global variables that are set up, and you can see that I'm using two libraries for this project. And my Dallas temperature waterproof thermometer is uh, it's a Dallas product, and so they have a way. I tried to set something up myself in order to read it and process the data, but my research on it really shows that the way they process, like you can have more than one sensor on a single line, and they assign addresses, and so I'm just going ahead and using the libraries, and I'll have a link to the DS18B20 thermometer tutorial in the link in the description. But so we set all that up. I have it into the second port on the Arduino. And so setting up, since this is a round robin with interrupts, the interrupts are set up to be every second. And then as we loop through that just basic round robin loop, we just add on to a second counter. So since one constraint for this project was to have a thermometer reading every 10 seconds, and the prescaler of the Arduino doesn't let us get up to 10 seconds. At least I couldn't figure out the math to do that. I just have it logging every 1 second, and the interrupt service routine will just add this seconds passed. The seconds passed variable is not, it doesn't have any data sharing issues since we are stopping the interrupts before and after reading that variable. And because we're reading the temperature and we're requesting the temperatures with these libraries, it could potentially take longer than a second. So it's important to stop the interrupt when we take the temperature or when we request the temperature in this read temp method. And then we re-enable the interrupts. At the same time, we're just resetting the timer so that we can get a fresh new 1 or 10 second, and then we reset the timer so we can get a fresh uh, interrupt 1 second period. So TCCR1B, these are not my variable names. Now this reference that was given in the class materials explains how to do these interrupts. These are registers corresponding to where each bit in the register corresponds to some value. And so this is set to be 1024, I believe. And so this prescaler is set up to be 1024, where this comparison value will multiply these two. And if the timer value is equal, then it will trigger the interrupt service routine. Okay, so here's the temperature readings. You can see I've been collecting for a little while. It's been running. Here's a working thermometer, and you can see the temperature is just about the same. I didn't have a 4.7 kilo ohm resistor, so I just stacked two 2000 kilo ohm resistors and some other ones to get close in series. And so here's a thing of ice, and I'll put in the thermometer. Yeah, we'll get it somewhere in there. And we should see the temperature start to drop. Now, what I have done is put in a little timer that will, every 5 minutes, it will just alert that 5 minutes has gone ahead and passed. And I can manually set this here. Let's go ahead and enter a sentinel that it's waiting for the spacebar to be pressed, and it'll just reset that timer. helpful for the experiment to just have it tell you, and I put the thermometer in there and then hit the space bar and it'll start recording that. So you can see that the temperature is definitely starting to drop. And what I'll go ahead and do is just grab it with my hand, and we should see it spike in the next 10-second interval. There it goes.